Hello guys.
So welcome to Educational Advice Show. Guys, this is the first podcast of the year. Can you imagine when 2024? Happy New Year, guys! Happy New Year! Happy New Season!
Yay! Yes. So today
With me, guys, I am Suna, and I'm just going to start by saying
just here one core week
this is our first guest.
here at Education Drive Show.
So the first guest, guys, for 2024. Woo! Thank you so much for listening. You're welcome, girl. Yes. You can use Education Drive Show. Please subscribe. This is the link below. We need this.
Be with us, okay? Okay. So Suna, are you ready to introduce yourself to us?
Yes.
Hi guys, so I'm Suna. I'm from Germany.
I used to live in South Africa for a while. My mum's from Joburg actually, she was born and raised there.
Yeah.
I used to live in England as well. I
Mhm.
used to go to school. I did gather some experience abroad, which I'm really grateful for.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think that's the topic.
Yeah, that is the topic for today. Guys, we're gonna be speaking about life experience abroad, especially for South Africans or for Africans in general who are coming here abroad. It can be Switzerland, it can be in Germany, it can be France, it can be in UK. What are the experiences that
People experience when they go abroad.
you can imagine it's not it's a different field.
Being in Africa and being in another field is very different. So we're gonna be sharing that, and she's also gonna be sharing her experience. So just stay in your comfort zone, okay?
Don't go anywhere and enjoy this life. Okay. Yes.
So are you ready for the first?
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question is, how was the experience coming to Munich and coming to Europe as well?
Okay, so my
My experience, let me just say before. So before me coming to you, it was my first time. I've never been in Europe, guys. I was just kidding.
being an African girl.
So my first time coming here, I didn't know where I'm going. I didn't know the kind of environment that I'm going. So because of that, I was not prepared. I didn't know what to prepare myself with because I've never been in this place. I don't know how I could prepare myself.
But for me, it was just
Like I'm going, I just put the flight, and then I'm going. You don't even know if you need anything, what you need. We would just know about those students that Germany is so cold. So they just taught me chef, jacket, and use
Oh,
yeah,
it's cold here.
yeah. Today's like minus.
No, it's not. It is cold today.
Okay, so what's degree today?
It's like 3 degrees here. No,
Oh,
it's cold.
okay. So that was the only thing that I was prepared for. But other than that, I wasn't prepared for anything. So it was a new experience.
and then after
After reaching here, so that you may know, when you start abroad, I'm the only black person who's coming from African background, from safe country. So for me, you can understand that in a group where there are 20 people and you're the only black person,
and you are in a
first cultures.
you might need something
Something of culture from you.
so to adjust to the place. So one thing that I've
For the first time for me, it was like, okay,
where do I belong in this space? Because there's a lot of things hanging in here, So trying to find people should I relate myself in
Yeah.
with? Where should I dive in? How should I put
myself in an
African in this space? You see,
Yeah.
so it was sort of a process. It was not something that I could just dive into quickly.
Yeah.
It had me to take some time with myself
Yeah.
and to process the kind of environment that I am and how I can dive into that. So as I continue
being in this space, you could be learning some
of certain differences between the group, some part of your belonging, for you to belong in this space.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So then at that
point identify to be
out of my
comfort zone.
Right.
right.
Yes.
So I started to step
I started to show, I started to show that I am present. This
Yeah.
is me,
Yeah.
and I'm present here. So then I started to do that. I would go out wherever that is available, I would be available for you, you know. So whatever that was available, you would see me around, you know. There's some other thing that I don't even do when I'm back home. Like I don't usually in those spaces.
A lot of people, I'm usually maybe by friends, but here I said,
Okay, I need to be out there. You know? I started going out, meeting a lot of people. I started exposing myself.
experiences that I was never exposed.
So
So as you can speak right now, I can.
all by myself.
Very independent.
Yeah, I can travel with the big bus, I can travel with the fast train. I've been out there because I made a decision.
Yes.
That this experience, I need to learn something new from it. I don't need to go back with this that I was having. In as much as I have my values,
I uphold with it.
Yeah.
I uphold with it. I've never changed my values. I've never changed my
belongings in some certain way. I am Ropa Fanzo who still doesn't do sleepovers and a lot of those things.
Right.
But when it comes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let it go.
So as we can speak right now,
There's been some new perspective that has come with that because I exposed myself in the space, and you learn a lot from people.
Oh yeah. You
You
do.
learn a lot
Yes.
from people. So there was the really had, and then with picking up about the cultural differences, and then the difference that comes with being in different groups as well. And then there are steps that people need to take, you know. Sometimes at the beginning you're scared to show yourself. You're scared to show that I'm not that privileged as you think,
Yeah.
or as you might show off. I have my similarities, I have some differences. You show off as yourself, and people accept you as you are. I told myself that I'm not going to prepare in a way that I'm this perfect or I
Yeah.
have this.
Yeah.
I am who I am. Show off as I am, and they're going to take me as whatever way I can be. So that was just a quick jump in.
Wow. It's so overwhelming for you as well.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we have some financial differences.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, I can't just do every day going out, or I
No.
can't be doing everyday trips.
Yeah.
I have some limitations when it comes to that. Yeah, but and I need everyone to know about that it's a process.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna come right away.
It's a whole thing.
For the steps.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared to be exposed out there. You need to be very open-minded, not to think that everything that you do is perfect or
Yeah,
your ways
of
are
course.
good.
Of course.
You need to be able to learn other people's ways.
Yeah.
You do what is on in your space, but don't forget your values.
Yes. I
Yeah.
love that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Let me just kind of process what you just said.
Yeah.
And I mean, it must have been everything, you know, coming down to the public transport. Like,
Yeah. The first week I was like, what's going on here? You know, you get me up, but then you have to think, is it going? Is this thing going? Or is it coming? Is it just a picture? Where is it going? Where is it coming from? And then when I started going, it was the first week I was going to
And then the next week,
no, I need to explain this on my own. So I did it first too. And then I don't know where I ended up in, and then it was just it's like you're so many times. And then there's yoga, and then there's this guy. And then you are asking people. You know,
even understand.
yeah, I was gonna.
Ask you about that. How did you receive people in need? Like, you know, were they helping you out? Were they trying to help you?
I cannot say that
Right.
but then it is like it is
Provide. There are some people who are willing to help,
Mhm.
and there are some people who just it's remain them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it happens.
go to my African countries, there are
Yeah.
some people who are not just willing to help
Yeah, of
strangers,
Yeah.
and there's some people who are willing to help strangers. So, but then also
With language being a barrier, you cannot
make a conclusion because you don't know if they were not able to help because they couldn't hear me out, or they were not able to help because they were running out of time or
Yeah.
not able to help. But then
you see some of the people like they do
that I was going to Berlin,
Mhm.
and then this person couldn't understand what I'm saying, but then quickly jumped in and went to Google Translate,
Yeah.
translated everything.
and then took me to where I was supposed to be.
So this just shows you that language can be nothing.
It doesn't have to be a barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are
People,
Yeah.
you can be. Yeah, but then I
I would have some
no English, and then they'll just go on like that. So yeah.
And would you say that race has played a role in that as well? Because, you know, people living in Munich especially,
Yeah, yeah,
the majority of people living in Munich
Yeah.
are white people.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
do you think that played a role as well? That's a straightforward question.
Yeah. It can be underpinned,
Mm-hmm.
it can be underlined, it can be behind that. I remember it was in
Yeah.
a shop. So I was having a new line. I didn't know which kind of airtime that I should be buying. And then that time I didn't have my bank card for me to buy it on the app.
Yeah.
So I needed to buy the actual airtime.
Yeah.
So I got in and then I asked which kind of airtime I should be buying. And then without even being, they just pointed something like there.
Okay.
And then I had to go and take it in. After taking it in, do it
To
on
log
the
in,
phone,
yeah.
on my phone.
Mhm.
It couldn't work because it was the incorrect voucher.
Oh, okay.
It's like
yeah.
you
buy out the fee and then you buy all the
Yeah.
so then it couldn't work. And then I was there and then they just continued doing whatever they were doing. So it can be it also how you also take it in, but I can say there was some kind of those kind of racism because I was different, and then there was also language barrier. They couldn't understand me,
Yeah.
and then they couldn't help me. I actually spent €15 in that airtime, for that
Oh.
bundle that I.
Yeah, and it was wrong?
It was wrong.
Oh, God.
I still even actually have it.
Yeah.
And then I just gave it to someone else because I
Okay.
couldn't use it. And then, so there are those kind of scenarios where you need
Yeah.
help from people who were supposed to be helping. It's
Mm.
not like I went outside in the
Yes.
shop.
Yes.
But they were not able to. So
Okay.
it can be because you're being subtracted from what you're supposed to be having.
Yeah.
So we can call it
Yeah.
in some kind of ways.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to experience
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And that must be, as you said, you were the only people of color in the group of the Erasmus students.
Yeah.
So I'm working for the university that we're both studying at,
Mhm.
and we don't have a lot of colored people at our
Yeah,
university. That must be such like an isolating feeling
Yeah,
as well
yeah,
for you, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't put it so much under
Okay.
like it's so isolating.
Yeah.
Because I think it also depends with the person that you are. If
Yeah, of
you
course,
are,
of course.
of course, I can choose to isolate myself. But
Mhm.
then, like I said, because of this step that I took
Mhm.
to be out of my comfort zone, like
Yes.
I'm also now even working with you.
Yeah.
So I've been meeting people, and if you're someone who just show up with confidence,
Mhm.
the society is willing to accept you because
Yeah.
you're showing your power already. You're not. But if you start to already feel down about yourself, I was speaking to someone that studying abroad. You need to be able to have that kind of self-identity.
Mhm.
You need to know yourself.
Yeah.
You need to be in that space where you know who you are.
Yes.
You are willing to show yourself to people.
Yes. Yes.
You stand as you are.
Mhm.
You're well spoken. You have that confidence in yourself. You view yourself in some positive ways. Because if not, I can tell you everything. I can just analyze it very
Right.
negative.
Right.
And I tell you, my experience here was going to be very bad because I'm the only black person here, and then you being in the as the black person, it takes also the people who are of color.
Yeah.
Takes also it's a process because they don't know if I'm willing to talk to them and stuff. So I could have been very much isolated if I could have just said, okay, I feel that I'm inferior here. I don't feel belonging. Because
Yes.
actually there's no belonging, you know.
Yes.
I could be feeling so much down and
True.
seeing myself as like, and because of that feeling, I could have just continued being in my own space, going in the lectures alone, just
Yeah.
playing alone because I feel, okay, we are so different and I feel like they have so much that I don't even have.
Mhm.
Or I feel like,
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
have much that they have and I don't think they're going to accept me and stuff. So, it was on the beginning that I was on my comfort zone, you
Mhm.
know. I was just trying to observe the environment.
Yeah.
I was just trying to understand, okay, who is this person and what is in there for me right now.
Mhm. Mhm.
But then as soon as I observed and I had to tune into myself, that Robert, this is what is happening right
Yeah.
now. You got
Whether you want to learn or you want to remain the local perspective in you.
Right.
Right? So after that show, like
right now
with my colleague, even if
I'm sick, they check in without
Yeah.
even me telling them that I'm sick.
Right.
They'll send messages, Ropa, I haven't seen you today. What's happening?
Yes.
You know, it's because of my willingness to connect with them,
Yeah.
and because of that, and also me showing that I am a human like you. We can.
You
be,
are.
We
Of
can
course
be.
you are.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can be different
Together, of
but then
course.
we. But there's something. Yes.
Yes.
So
yeah, it's the beginning.
that isolating. But right now, I even.
Okay, I'm just saying. Yes, I knew it. Okay, you
And I
know.
think we should, because sometimes, I mean, you become one of my best friends,
And it's like
Yeah.
that. You
now,
Yeah.
and it's just for 22.
for telling me, because obviously me coming from a white perspective,
Yeah.
it's good for me to obviously understand what you've been going through coming
Yeah.
here,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I didn't coming here.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that with me.
And you also, what is it that you may think is kind of, is there any similarities when you went to South Africa
Mhm.
and you were the only white person that I assume
Maybe.
you
Yes.
were not, but then you being a white person who's coming from Europe,
Yes.
if you're going to Africa, there's
Yes.
a lot of differences also.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
An interesting question.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the majority of my friends in South Africa are not white; they're black.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for me, that never played a role. Like I was never thinking about it until I
Mhm.
came to my friends over the phone,
Yeah.
and then I connected with,
Then when I moved to South Africa, so I kind of knew them before I came to South Africa.
which was quite cool. And then I went to South Africa and I met them immediately, and we spent a lot of time together. And they took me to their families, and I was the only white person there. And I felt
Like I didn't really belong there, or I shouldn't go there as well, because I felt people viewing me
in a different way,
Yeah.
and I was
very much aware of that as well, and I was kind of, I was unsure of
what to do with
Yes,
that, with
yes.
that elephant.
room in there, because
I was aware of
my skin color and sort of the power it gets.
it holds as well.
Yeah.
And the role that I took by going into those places, that I just wanted to spend
Time with my friends and
Mhm.
meet their families.
Mhm.
So that was a new experience for me, and also I mean, it didn't take a role. My friends, they
didn't view me as
white, and they
Yeah.
well, they
do view me as white, but they still wanted me to come to their family and meet them,
Mhm.
and that didn't really take a toll in our friendship. For me, coming into their family and being viewed as a different person,
Mhm.
that made me think a lot. Actually, it was I didn't know how to
react or how to behave and how to
to read
Yeah.
the space,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. I can
Yeah.
understand what you're saying because if you're different, you don't know how you can expose yourself, how you can be
Yes.
yourself. You know,
Yes.
you don't know how you can limit yourself or how
Exactly.
boundaries.
Yeah.
And for you, at the starting point of associating with Blakes, did it come natural to you, or it was a process, or?
No, it was natural, 100% natural,
Mm.
100%, because it was so. It was normal. Like
Yeah.
I didn't see a difference in
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
with other colored people. That it's not a difference to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm friends with them, I'm friends with them. It doesn't matter the skin color or the height or the the size. They're my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't see that as a difference
Mhm.
from me to
Mhm.
them or them
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that is also something that also come maybe with your background or how your
Yeah,
parents
probably.
has also been raised you,
Yeah.
and what you have been taught as you're growing up as well.
Yeah.
And I actually have to thank you for having that kind of open-mindedness. You know, I think it just doesn't help you as a person, but it also help other people to
Yeah.
receive you also in a very good way.
Thank you.
So,
I thank you as
high
well.
five.
I thank you as well, my friend.
Okay. So, also when you went to
UK?
Yes. Yes.
So were you in that kind of space? You were speaking Germany
No, English.
English.
I was speaking
Okay.
English, yeah.
So, but then at first you had the German English accent with you, or it was-
No, not problem for me switching into English. No.
it didn't even.
No, because I was well, I learned English in kindergarten, so I
Yeah.
was sort of
Grew up speaking English in a way.
so that wasn't a problem for me to
Yeah.
switch into a different language.
Yeah. And so, what do you think about like European countries?
Mhm.
They mostly favor their languages, which is okay.
Yeah.
But what do you think actually can be? Do you think it can be a burden to others? Do you think it's a good
Mhm.
thing? Or
Oh, that's an interesting question. Well,
Yeah.
about England, obviously English is a quite well-known language.
So I think speaking English is the problem.
But then coming to Germany or Italy, France, a lot
Yeah.
of people don't really, well, they speak English. I think they do understand, the majority at least, but not all of them. And then I think if you are struggling to in English, which is a
that
common
is-
language,
yeah.
That's automatically going to be really tricky. And some
people are really not open-minded for
Yeah.
other languages
people in other cultures as well. That does happen here and there.
as well, for sure, which is a shame. But I think it depends on the country, and I think it also depends if you stay in bigger cities and countries.
Mhm.
People are more open-minded to
Yeah.
speak English, I would
Mhm.
say, if you can generalize it like that,
Mhm.
or at least more open-minded. But then,
To go out to the countryside, again, from, not everyone is the same, but you tend to see
that if you go more to the countryside,
people
not as able to speak English as in bigger cities.
Yes.
So it kind of depends on where you stay as well.
Mhm.
But I think it can be quite difficult and a burden as well.
Mhm.
Because as you said, the countries are quite focused on their languages.
Yeah. But then there are different that I noticed with, like when I'm in the university,
Hmm.
they are all willing to speak English. you know.
Yes.
I've never heard they're willing to even accept, and then I was Kesa thing that I was with you that time.
KSH? Or
Yeah.
Oh, the
people,
They're all willing to speak English.
can we explain what it is?
Yeah,
Do
we
you
can.
wanna explain what it is?
I-
so at our university, that was the doorbell.
yeah.
We have a space called Kriso, and that's like a political group of
Mhm.
students sort of talking about political topics and discussing, and it's very interesting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
well, you can
Yeah. And then so then when I entered in the space, I was just like, you know,
As part of three out of the campus as well. Okay, what are the kind of things that are interested
so then I went there. They accepted me.
in? And everyone was trying to speak English. Even if they were not.
Of course.
Even if some of them were not even able to speak it fluently.
Yeah, but they were
But they
trying.
were
Yeah.
trying.
You know, it's so
as we can, let's say, history of, let's say, for example, Germany or even in South Africa, where there was time of apartheid, and there was color was something that.
Color means so much.
And then it's when you can see there are a lot of weird that we need. Where color doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Where our differences means our similarities.
Yes.
In some kind of ways. So I can say the world is evolving. And I was speaking to there's one of professor who is in Italy, which is happened to be Mary's father. If you know. Yeah. So I was speaking to him when he started university here in Germany. He was saying you would rarely see a black person.
Yeah.
It was a surprise to me. A black person.
It was like you just see them once in a while.
Especially Munich, I have to add. We stay in the very southern part of quite conservative as well.
I mean, they are the parts that are conservative, but if you go to like Berlin,
Berlin, yeah.
that's very mixed.
Yeah, Berlin
All cultures.
exactly.
Yeah.
When I went there, I was like, I'm thinking South Africa because you wouldn't even feel it. Like there was this time I was in a shop and then I was trying to fix my the German language that I just learned, you know. And then they said, you can see, I don't think I think German. I was like, I'm breaking up with an
A lot of people speak English, like even Germans, they speak English too, because it's just the common language that they speak, so everyone is included and can understand it.
So what I'm saying is, like, even in Germany, it really depends on where you are.
Where you are.
But I would say still in
Germany, there are not a lot of black people living here.
Yeah.
Especially Munich and Bavaria, that's like the state we're in.
Yeah.
It's very white.
If you can, if you're gonna find your life partner who is black in Munich, I'm sorry. You might.
I just need to take your mind, you know, because but I love to think that you can see the involvement.
Sure.
Okay. And there are also opportunities.
But I come around, like I was speaking, like when he came and now he's now speaking in
In Italy, and he
also speaking as a black person.
and teaching other white persons
Yes.
speaks a lot.
Yes.
I'm coming with the knowledge. Who, the person who owns the country. Then I'm teaching you. I'm your lecturer.
Yes.
There's this power in you now.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. This speaks a lot about things just changing.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. Also, this kind of experience that we all also have to have this set programs where even people from the countries can come here. There's also a lot of scholarship and
that's
those
true.
volunteer opportunities where African can just come, you know. It shows how the world is all evolving to be a one thing. Yeah. And there's this thing that you wanted to say about the divisions.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
One question that I'm really interested in.
Do you think the differences in people, or like in the Erasmus group as well, because everyone's coming from a different background, do you think that's connecting you guys as a group as well, or like as a society maybe, people coming from different cultures, or do you think that's rather like driving people apart?
Yeah. I can say, well, in the beginning, our differences were separating us. Like, we could see the differences that we hold in the space. So it was like a button for us to connect, because you're coming from France, and then at first, actually, so it was the first time for others to come and speak English as their first language.
Right.
Yeah, and then to write some assignments in English and stuff. And then, so at the first beginning, it was kind of like one-on-one thing, where after just meeting rooms, and it was just like a one thing.
Yes.
Yeah, but then one purpose, that is like we have like 7 months here together. This is the kind of initiative that we have
Right.
We have some group presentation that we do together. We just have to work it out. Whether
You see me in some way, we just need to go for that group discussion and get it done, you know. There's no two ways about it. We just have to wait. So the wake down point where we I said before, too late, you know. But then
differences does make for people to connect into some kind of
Yeah.
ways, because we are looking at some certain things that you it's like when you're making friendship, is you cannot make friendship with everyone else. You
Right.
need to, there are some people that you connect with naturally,
Yes.
and there are some people that it's like, oh, even
And that's okay as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
there's some that doesn't just work, and that's okay, like you said. So as we go on our journey, that it made us similar, because we embraced the cultural differences.
Yeah.
We embraced the things that we see, okay, it's making us difficult. We're like, okay, we need to learn something about you, how different you are. If you are very different, I need to learn from that, you know?
Yes.
Because there's a big lesson about your difference.
Yes.
But if I learn about that, be very open-minded, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you are coming, but you being a person who's coming from France, you
Yeah.
coming from Spain, there's something very valuable that I need to learn from someone from Spain. I've never been to
Yeah.
Spain, but I
Yeah.
can tell you there's this experience that I've learned from people from Spain that I even feel like I.
you know.
What have you learned about people from Spain? What do you want to share?
I just made up about how they're like the cow people in some kind of way, and they're loud. You just like them, they're loud, and they're just loud. They just need to laugh.
Yes.
We just live to love. There's some kind of thing that you just pick up.
Yeah.
The highlights.
And some things that I like how to talk, and there's some that I didn't learn.
And to be learning about different things about people.
Yeah.
So to the extent that now in our groups we can even share about me being a black person, what it means to me being a black person, and
Yeah.
some of the things that I
You know, there's this thing of like, me
even doing my hair. They're interested to know how to even do your hair like
Yes.
this. Like how do you even
continue pulling until it's there. So it's like something in me that they really
they're not even knowing, but because I'm not
that we need to ask questions. Even
the way they're silly.
Right.
Like there's
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one time that
someone asks me, so please remove
your hair when you're going to bath.
Yeah, what are they? It's because your parents are not that they can even ask you something. Yeah. And they will help me. And they didn't know.
How
Right.
to just approach and then
Yeah.
ask a person. So even about we have this, and as we believe in spirit mediums, we believe in ancestors, we have this weird
Yeah.
culture thing. Me being able to explain to them that it's not what you see, you know, it's not how you see it.
Right.
It's not every black person who doesn't have it.
Yes.
I am here standing here. I don't have it, but I am on a kind of, I have some privileges that I hold as a black person.
Right.
We do not have those, it's not how you see it. So this kind of that we are willing to share our experiences, it actually changed the way that they see us as well, because me coming to say how we are, and it kind of removed that kind of perspective that we have about us. you
Yes.
know. So it reached a point where differences are now making us one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Because you want to know
Yes.
We want to learn about you.
there's one thing that I see right in and
About German people, you guys being
Quality. Don't say that you are punctual and then.
Are we actually? I don't think we are. You think we are?
Well, you are not. You are not. You always arrive like 10 minutes. Right? 10 minutes after. 2 minutes late.
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Yeah. So
you understand that. What do you actually know about you? I can understand that.
But I love you, I don't receive the power. Where's the power? Where is it? I think it's somewhere. I don't know where it is. I guess that you guys are very wealthy. Where is your wisdom? Where is it? Oh my goodness, you're there. You're starting to teach the teachers here and there. Wait, is this time somewhere? Because I don't see it like even your 10 years
Same way.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the way you do things, I cannot do it the same way.
Yeah.
So why are the difference?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. There's so much
Can I ask you our last question? Is it time for a last question?
Do you have any other things that you want to share?
I think it is
We've got a talk right now, actually. I think it's so important to just sit down and talk about stuff and talk about
about sensitive topics as well. Because I can share that. It is, I'm aware of my position. Talking about it before the podcast.
Yeah.
And I was kind of scared how,
we can address it in the podcast. So I think it is really important.
and especially for us young people as well, to just sit down and just have a conversation about it as friends as well, and just see where we're both coming from, and understand our background.
Connect over that as well and still be open-minded about
You know, history, because there is history, but still talk about it and address it. It's beautiful, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to talk about it and to create the space and to hold the space. I think it's very important to do that.
Because we cannot run away from history.
No,
in
we
as much
can't.
as we can be trying, but
Yeah,
there's some
and
perspective.
it's still there.
Yeah.
and I do still feel that as a white person.
It is still present in a way, but it shouldn't be a burden anymore.
I think with us, we built such a
A
great
friendship, and it just it shows that we are connected and we are. It's important to talk about it. Yeah.
And also how you can, because you also coming up to create this kind of things, it is very fundamental in it that so many people can learn from it, and I can say about South Africa, in as much as apartheid in 1994. But it's still available. It's still happening. You still go to South Africa and then you see a place where there are just black people and it's a lot of things going on there. And then you go to another white space, big houses, which is they're trying to do. But there's something that remains very much underpinned. And
very much.
I just love very much open-minded. And I think your experience as well when you went to South Africa and actually continues to build you and to make you open-minded. Yeah.
Well, that brings me
to my last question. But
I think you kind of answered
as well doing our talk,
that. So that's what that you've learned coming here. What do you take with you going back to South Africa as well?
Yeah.
So, our favorite,
Friends, that my experience of coming here, first of all, it has changed my ways of viewing the world. So me going back, I'm thinking of how can I still remain me and still trying to expose or to implement some of the perspective that I've learned. Because when you go into a new environment, you don't remain the same person. But then the people that are back home, they are in the same, they see me as like I'm still the same person.
Right.
And when you try to change, it kind of feels like you're trying to change, or you're trying to view yourself as someone who still have power over them, or you see yourself as like someone who's so educated or have it all than them. But I cannot run away from the fact that I've picked some certain things that you might not have picked yourself. And I cannot remain the same person, whereas it's like when you have learned something like a degree, and then you want in the same level before going to university.
Yeah.
In some ways,
You gather that knowledge.
So, you gotta tell you something, kind of way. Like,
Yes.
For me, before I started social work, I viewed the people who are homeless in a kind of way, in a negative way.
Mm-hmm.
I viewed the people who doesn't have it in a kind of negative way.
Right.
But now, as I see,
even
I don't have it, but I see themselves as human beings, as
Yes.
people who does not have it, not because they choose to, but there's a lot of things happening that we need
Yeah.
to be able to dive into. You
Yes.
see? So when you go abroad, there's some kind of you that changes. And you going back and trying to remain the same person and also be able to interact with people the same way that you used to. There's some certain ways that you still need to do it.
Yeah.
Me, I need to change something. When I'm going back, I'm still connecting with the same people that I left.
Mm-hmm.
And with the change in me, I need to know how I can dive into that space
Right.
without them feeling that I'm now different or I've changed or I see themselves as different
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
So that is kind of one thing. But me,
talking about the lesson
that I've learned
after the history.
abroad, first of all, like I've been,
And
you need to be able to move out of your comfort zone. You need to be so much prepared
Yeah.
to leave what you need to leave behind for you to be attracted to what is in front of you. And secondly, you need to be open-minded.
Yeah, and expose yourself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to be able to expose yourself as well in the space.
Yeah.
You cannot remain yourself in some kind of way when you're in your environment.
Yeah.
You gotta be willing. You gotta be willing to learn something new. If you're gonna continue there, you're gonna continue being the same person. It's just gonna
Yeah.
be change of environment, but not change
Yeah.
of you. And you learn so much when you go out there.
Mm.
You learn so
Yes.
much. You become a light.
you learn so much, and then the experience is very important.
For you as well in the new space. Go out there.
Connect with people, even if they are different, connect with people. Don't be afraid, don't be shy, even if you're sick, you can go and sit up and I like to connect, you don't have to remain isolated. Because I tell you, if you remain isolated,
You're gonna say, okay,
okay, bring me back my flight, I wanna go back home. Because, whoa, I can't do this, If you're not open-minded, this experience is gonna just
yourself as someone who is so polished. Like me, I came.
But then if it wasn't for that, like I was also living in
I'm gonna be part of the magazine thing.
Oh yeah.
Here, it's because I exposed myself. Otherwise, I could have just be saying I'm German, but nothing for the. So, guys, be tuned in, and I'm sure I'm gonna be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Masuna.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We don't know how to thank you for being part of the Education Drive show. But guys, for
Me and Consuela.
I think I need to kind of have, what are the last ways that you want to share to the people before we close it?
I think what I just said before is just thank you for being here and thank you for sticking up to those topics and willing to learn and be open-minded. And I think that ROPA is creating the space for that. And thank you for, keep on learning and keep on doing what you do. And let's try and change the world together.
Yeah!
We can do this. Yes, that was it from Sina, and that is I think for me, the foundation that I feel we can use this kind of stories.
Right. We
Yes.
need you here, like this video.
Right? Let's change the world together. We can do this. Again, let's meet again in the next episode.
Come and pause.